All right, so we're done. As you've seen, this is how I create music videos. Now, before we finish, I want to answer a few questions that I get asked often by other filmmakers. First question is, how can I get work directing music videos? And there's really no one simple way to answer that, simply because I know a lot of different music video directors, or just film directors in general, that have gotten their start, in many different ways. The one common thing that kind of unites them all is basically the fact that they all, just started, making music videos any way that they could. I think that the biggest difference between established directors and the ones that struggle is the fact that the established guys are not afraid to say, I'm a director. We all start out the same way. Nobody knows who we are, or what kind of videos we're capable of producing. But I remember I just one day pretty much just said, okay, that's it. I'm a director. I went out, I printed out some business card. I think that was just more just to make myself feel more important. And then I went out there and I just started looking for work. Now, at the beginning, it was really hard because nobody would trust me when I would tell them, I can make a good music video for you. Simply because I had nothing to show, no prior videos to show as proof. It was so hard, in fact, that people wouldn't even let me do videos for them for free. But I eventually found somebody that trusted me, and also somebody that I thought had enough of a media attention that would sort of guarantee that my work would actually go out there and be seen by others. But believe me when I say that those first few videos were all done for free. Not only that, but we didn't even have enough of a budget for the camera or light, so I had to buy those with my own money. And also because we had no locations, with the first video was all shot out on the street on public property. Now, once those first few music videos I did got enough exposure, and some of them actually got on television, and sort of once I felt confident enough to that I had enough work to show, then I started asking people to pay me for doing music videos. And then, eventually over time, as I did more videos, it got to a point where people would call me and ask, me to do music videos for them. Now, why did I want to do music videos? Well, it's because I was always interested in filmmaking, and I think making music videos is one of the better ways of learning, filmmaking, especially when you consider the fact that if you want to do short films, for example, you're going to have a really hard time finding somebody to just pay you to actually do short films and practice that way, and get better at your craft. Whereas music videos in a way are sort of like making short films, but instead of like I said, once you sort of get into it, instead of doing it for free or doing it with your own money, you literally having somebody paying you to learn, to get better at your craft. And now, if you're looking for work on music videos, but maybe you don't know any musicians, then I would suggest you start looking online. One such website is radarmusicvideos.com, where bands and musicians will post their music videos briefs, and then different directors will compete by posting their idea of how to do that particular video. Then the artist picks their favorite, and that's it. The band will also post what their budget is, if any. So it's a great website for up-and-coming and established directors alike. I've actually seen some video briefs on there with budgets as big as $10,000. Also, check out other websites, or filmmaking blogs for work on music videos, or somewhere where you can even just post your own resume, or a big ad saying, director looking for music videos. There's websites like, for example, Mendy.com, and there's a whole bunch of out there. Really, guys, you can even find probably bands that are looking to, for music videos, done to their music, even in your local newspaper. Or if all else fails, just go on Google.com and just Google it. I always say, if there's a will, there's a way. So I'm sure with time you guys will find, and you'll connect with the right people to find the music video work. Oh, and before I finish, I wanted to let you guys know that I've included a bunch of little extras on a folder on the DVD that I think you'll find useful. Okay, so if you go to the extras folder, you'll see 3 other subfolders. First one's called color presets.
Pretty self-explanatory. I have still images of some of the scenes from the music videos, and if you open this, you'll see the different still images from some of the shots in the music videos, and then also the colors applied to it. So you gotta go to effects controls up here, select your shot, and then for example you'll see here these shots were color corrected using Colorista, so you can turn it off and on. You can see how the original footage looked color corrected. You have all the settings here that I've done, and you can just click this, right click, go copy, and paste it onto your footage if you want to use this setting, for example. And there's different shots like that, and different presets that I show. And some of them use, like I said, Colorista. Some of them will use different just levels and things that are within Adobe Premiere. Now the only thing is that this was saved in Adobe Premiere version 5.5. So if you have a earlier version, it might not work for you, but you can always give it a try. Okay, another thing you'll see in the extras folder is the lighting setup diagrams. There's just a bunch of JPEG images in there, and they just illustrate for you in a diagram, how each of the lighting setups it looks from the top. So you see the camera here, softbox, our two actors, forwards, so on and so on. So you have basically a nice clear explanation of all these shots and how they were achieved and what kind of lights I used and stuff. So if you want to have that in more detail. And then the last thing you'll see is the talent release form. Now this one you can use as a sort of an example, starting point for creating your talent release forms, or if you want, you can actually use this one that I provided. It's in Adobe PDF format and also in a Microsoft Word document. But just read the disclaimer before you use it, and of course you use it at your own risk, because these talent release forms just simply, there is no way that they can work for all scenarios. And in case you do get sued, I'm not the one to, that you should hold liable. So just make sure you read the disclaimer. But it kind of gives you a good starting point. This is more or less what I use when on my music videos.
It's all in that folder, so just browse to it on your computer. Well, I hope this was useful to you guys. And if you have any more questions, as always, you can find me on Twitter and Facebook. And if you want to see my new or old filmmaking tutorials, you can see them for free on my YouTube channel. Good luck with your projects!